Mayor Michael Bloomberg has so far avoided a showdown with Occupy Wall Street protesters here in New York City, but city officials across the country are starting to lose their patience. Oakland police are still trying to disperse hundreds of protesters who marched towards City Hall tonight. Arrests have been made, but police cannot confirm how many at this time. Just before dawn in Oakland this morning, police in riot gear cleared out more than 350 protesters using tear gas and beanbags. Police made 85 arrests. Mayor Jean Quan released this statement today. Many Oaklanders support the goals of the National Occupy Wall Street movement. However, over the last week, it was apparent that neither the demonstrators nor the city could maintain safe or sanitary conditions or control the ongoing vandalism. The city said protesters can now occupy the plaza between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 p.m., but not overnight. A new poll out today shows 43% of Americans say yes, they agree with the views of Occupy Wall Street movement. 27% said no, they disagree with those views. The poll found that 2 in 3 say that wealth is not distributed fairly in America, while just 1 in 4 says wealth is distributed fairly. Massachusetts Senate candidate Elizabeth Warren has embraced the Occupy Wall Street movement. She told the Daily Beast, "I created much of the intellectual foundation for what they do. I support what they do." Joining me now, a man who was just at the Occupy Wall Street protest tonight, legendary boxing promoter Don King. Don, thank you very much for joining us.
Lawrence, thank you for having me. It's a delight. But first, let me say I'm welcoming home our troops, because without them, the people who put themselves in harm's way with their courage and valor, we couldn't sit here on the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. And it makes me feel good to see these American troops come home safe and sound for the holiday. God bless our troops. God bless our America, and God bless our President Obama.
Don, you are an 80-year-old working man with a lot of stuff to do. What the heck are you doing at Occupy Wall Street? Why'd you go down there?
I love America, and I think that's just what many people may miss the boat on, is that the First Amendment gave the right to protest and demonstrate and to go for your grievances and the freedom of speech. You know, the press could not exist. You couldn't sit here without the First Amendment, because every time you say something about somebody, somebody would come at you, and then the money and influence would stop you from being able to retaliate or to find a way, a means to carry your message. That's the journalistic creed, the who, the why, the where, the when, and the what. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to understand what they're doing is pure Americana. And so our nation's greatest resources is people. People's greatest resources is children. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The yesterday was our day. The day is the present. But tomorrow's our future. And they got our kids with student loans, with no escape clauses, due in perpetuity. They're underwater, and if we don't stop drowning our future, we're going to find ourselves in a pretty sick position. So that's what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for America. It ain't a particular thing of what they're doing. They're doing what Americans should do without being slaughtered indiscriminately, without compunction or remorse from some of the regimes around the world where they just put force onto them. And we have to be very careful about how we use this force mechanism, because remember in 1931, in the bonus babies, where the nation's soldiers would go out in World War I, come home to get their bonus, and couldn't get their bonus, and they had MacArthur and different leaders in the army fighting their former colleagues and soldiers. When these soldiers come home, they're going to want jobs. Now, we can't keep on with that hypocrisy that we practice, where we say how great they are, how courageous they are, what valor, what patriotism, and when they come home, you can't give them a job or won't give them no way to make a living. That ain't going to last. You can't keep doing that. So I'm hoping that we be prepared in some way to help those beautiful veterans that protect and safeguard our liberties, something that we can do for them, Lawrence, and that should be the last word, without a question of a doubt, unequivocally. We should be prepared to accept them and to help them and to make them feel what America feels for them, being proud, but not with words, but the actions and deeds. And so I'm looking forward to the outcome of the Christmas holiday with my soldiers and sailors, the women and the men whose valor and courage put themselves in harm's way for our freedom and our liberty, and then we're going to kick them to the curb with some type of pontification and political speeches. We can't accept that.
Okay, this is perfect because I didn't have a second question, and I got Don King. I need one question with Don King to get through the whole rest of the show.
You know, I'm telling you, I feel so good about being on your show. I've always admired you and what you're doing with the last word. You're really, and you confront your adversary.
Do you have any extra ties? Because I feel I have to express my patriotism more in my clothing more than I do.
You know what? Yes, I do. I happen to have one. I can give you this one because I got several of them. I went to the store today, and I bought so many of them. Anything with America and the Stars and the Stripes, it just endears itself to me in my heart. White and black alike, America's the greatest nation in the world. Let us work toward it.
Don King takes us all the way to the last word tonight. Don King, thank you very, very much for joining me tonight.
Don't forget my fight, November the 5th in Florida.
Oh, yes. Believe it or not, he's got a fight to promote. November 5th in Florida.
Jones and
we'll put the info up on the website.
Put the info on the red thing there because it's a coalition for jobs. That's really what you're used for.
Don, thank you very much.